All right. Hello, fifth grade. All right. Important lesson today because today you are going to be filling out your job application. Okay. And this job application is going to then be reviewed by myself, Miss Golightly, Miss Anderson, and a few others on our committee to see who would qualify for the jobs at the 13 different businesses at BizTown. Okay. So, thinking about that, we're going to start with investing in yourself. So, we've been talking about a lot of investing our money. I showed you the last lesson how your savings account, how it can grow because of the compound interest. You put money in now and keep putting money in, it could grow. Okay. I also showed you how debt can grow, right? If you don't pay something off, you owe more, 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 more. So you think about like which side do you want to be on, right? How else do you invest in yourself? Education, experience, right? The more you guys learn, the more you know, the more skills you have. It's what we call marketable. You're putting yourself in a category where you're more marketable than someone else. That means if you fill out a job application, it's between two people. I'm going to go with the person that has more knowledge, more skills, more experience, right? So be thinking about sitting in your classes. Are you that person that's getting all the information? Are you learning? Are you soaking it all in? Or are you not? Right? Be thinking about, are you the person that's getting involved? You're in clubs, you play sports, you go to dance class. Think of things you like to do, right? Like get yourself involved because again, at the end of the day, you're building yourself up to eventually earn jobs, get scholarships, go to colleges, right? So you got to invest in yourself. Okay. If you look on your page 87 in your book, when it comes to investing in yourself, you think about your right to education. This is free. You guys are getting free education here in the US where we are literally giving you so much knowledge to fill your brains with, right? If you look on page 87, there's a few stories on there that show you the right to education and how we should feel privileged that we have free education. There's some countries where, man, once you hit first, second, third grade, if you don't make the cut, you go straight to the workforce, right? So the fact that we are giving free education here in the US, and I know you might be like, oh, I hate school. I don't want to be in class today. Oh, right. Oh, math. Boo. Think about, man, you don't have to pay for this. They're literally giving this to your teachers. We're giving you all this information to fill your brain so one day you could be more marketable. Okay. So again, be appreciative of that. Okay. All right. Go ahead and turn to the next page, page 88. You guys are going to see the job application. Now, if you want a job from here on out, you need to fill out an application. That's like even if I want to go work at McDonald's, I can't just walk in and be like, "Hey, can I have a job?" No, I could go in and introduce myself. Hi, my name is Coach Goble, and I was wondering if you guys are hiring. Do you have an application I could fill out? They're going to give me an application, right? I'm going to fill it all out and I'll turn it back in. Okay. Now, most applications, they're going to ask for your personal information, right? They're going to ask maybe what school you go to. They're going to ask a few other questions, right? So if you guys look on your page 88, go ahead and fill out the top information. So obviously, your last name, your first name. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, make sure you're writing clear. You don't have to write in cursive, print it, make sure it's clear because you're going to turn these job applications in. And if we can't read whose it is, we're going to throw it in the trash. Okay. Just like any other job would. If they can't read it, it's going right into the trash can. Okay. So really make sure you're writing nice and clear. So write your last name, your first name, right? If you have a middle initial, you could put your middle initial. School Street. Now I'm going to go through and then you guys could pause me at the end to give you more time. So School Street is 103 Dakota. Dakota. Obviously, the city is Chickasha. Hopefully, we know how to spell it. Chickasha. Oklahoma. Zip code 73018. Now, if you're sitting there and you're like, I don't really know my address, I don't know the zip, man, you guys need to learn that stuff. Because if there's ever an emergency, you might say, yeah, I'm so and so, here I'm at. They don't know exactly where that is. You've got to know your addresses, right? Okay, so once you fill out that information, go ahead and put your email address. Now, again, make sure it's clear. Put your school email address. So your first three of your first name, your first three of your last name, the last four numbers of your lunch code, and then don't forget the at sign, chickasha.k12.ok.us. Okay, if you weren't able to finish that, we'll be able to move on, and then you could pause me at the end. So the next section is talking about education. So obviously put the name of your school, Lincoln. You guys are fifth grade, and favorite subject. Now this application, this isn't like one, if I go to McDonald's, they're not going to ask me for my favorite subject, but for this purpose, we like to know, is science, is it math, health, like reading, writing? Okay. When you get to the next section, hobbies, favorite activities. So things you like to do in your spare time. I like to cook, bake, play sports. I like to play video games. I like to play with my dog. I like to read, listen to music, dance. Okay, so go ahead and fill that in. Favorite after school activity? I like to hang out with my friends. I like to have family time. Now, as you guys are filling out like things you like to do, be thinking about like that's what we should be looking at, those type of careers. Like if I'm a person, I like building stuff, then I might want to look at one of the jobs where it involves building stuff. If I like to read, then maybe I want to do one of the jobs where there's a lot of reading and writing and paperwork, that kind of stuff. Again, when you guys think about your jobs and careers as you get older, like you want to enjoy it. You don't want to go to work every day like, oh, I hate this, right? You want to enjoy it, and it should be stuff you like to do. Okay. So this gives you an idea. This is what I like to do. How can I make this into a career one day? Okay. The next section, this is the employment objective. So this is objective means like what do you want out of it, right? So you're going to tell us your top three jobs that you are interested in for BizTown. Now, if you guys look in the library or Miss Golightly's room, they have a poster hung up with the 13 businesses that are at JA BizTown. Now, each business will have different roles, right? Different jobs within it. That's when we're going to look at your applications. We're going to be paying attention to the ones who've been listening, focused, the ones we're like, Then you'll be the top dogs of those businesses, right? But on this section, you're going to put your first, second, and third choice on which business you're interested in. Now, again, when we take these applications, we'll look through them. Now, it doesn't mean you're always going to get your first choice. You might not get your second. You might not even get your third. You might just get what you get and don't throw a fit, right? But to build your case, when you guys write your job, so if I say my first choice is the health careers, I want to work at the healthcare, right? When you write your sentence, what interests you? What skills do you have to make that a good fit for you? Don't just say, because I like it. Honestly, we might push that one to the back of the pile. But if you say, I want to actually help people, I see myself being a nurse one day, that goes to the top of the pile. You see what I'm saying? So tell us why you would be a good fit for each of those jobs you're interested in. When you're done with that, date it, sign it. Okay. So if you need to pause me right now, go ahead and pause me. I'll give a thumbs up when I'm moving on. Okay. We're moving on. So every one of y'all have your job application done. Now what you're going to do is carefully, okay, there's preparation, carefully rip that application out of your book, and you are going to hand that to Miss Anderson or Miss Golightly. And we are going to collect these applications, and we are going to go through them, and we're going to assign your jobs. You will know in the next couple of weeks where you're at and who's working in the business with you. Okay. All right. Hopefully you guys all did that. So if you guys look back up here, every one of y'all right now are applicants. You guys are all applying for whichever one of those jobs you're interested in. Now, again, look around you. There's a lot of you guys in this one class. There's a lot of you guys in fifth grade, right? There's a lot of you guys in the school, fifth grade. So think about that one job you're interested in. Maybe 20 other people are interested in it. Think about why do you deserve it more than that person? This is how you're building. This is how you're building your resume. I call it like one-upping someone or making yourself more marketable, right? Think about in real life when you guys get older, why is that college going to choose you? Why should they give you the scholarship? Why should you get that job? Okay. You want to start building what we call your resume. Okay. Your resume is something. So if I want to go work at McDonald's, I'll go in, introduce myself, ask if they're hiring, get an application, turn it in. Okay. If I want to work somewhere a little bit more as a professional setting, maybe it's the bank, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a firefighter. Yes, you're still going to go in, get an application, fill out the paperwork, but you also want to attach a resume to it. What is a resume? A resume is like a little screenshot, right? Everything about me that I want the job to know. Okay. Now, again, the more I'm involved in, the more clubs, the better I'm doing at school, right? That's going to look good on me. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is talk about a resume. Before we go that, let's see if we can answer these questions. So again, thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay, most adults choose to have a job or career. Of course we do. Now, we need one to make money, right? Unless we're all just billionaires, but yeah, okay. People who consider what they are good at and what they like to do when finding a job or career, they tend to like their work more than those who don't. Yeah, that's a for sure. Okay. Know what you're good at, know what interests you, and yeah, I'm going to really enjoy my job. Okay. Gaining additional experience and education will help you add to your own success. That's a for sure. The more you learn, the more experiences, the more involvement you have, you're going to up your success and you're going to honestly up your happiness. It doesn't matter what job you choose as long as you can earn a lot of money. I mean, money's good, right? But money doesn't always bring happiness. Okay. You want to have a job or career that you actually enjoy going with. I like working with the people I'm working with. I like doing what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. So, again, what we're going to work on now is our resume. Okay. So, well, before we get to that, scoop back, go ahead and turn to page 89. So if you guys look on page 89, you're going to see the same chart I have up here. This is just showing you like why education pays off. Now, not everyone has to go to college, right? You could do a 2-year or 4-year college. You could do more than that. You could do a VOTEC. You could do a professional school. You could go military. You could go get on the job training, right? Just always do something better than high school. You're going to graduate high school and then do something better than that. Okay. And this just shows you on average how much people make who have this type of education. So if I say, man, I didn't even graduate high school, I might just be pulling in $600 a week. Now that might sound like a lot to y'all right now, but man, that's barely getting me by. Barely. I don't even know if it's getting me by, right? Especially with how expensive things are nowadays. Say I went and I got a 2-year degree. I did 2 years of college. Well, now I'm making an extra almost $300 on top of that. Say I said, you know what? I'm gonna go 4 years. I go 4 years as a bachelor's degree. Now I'm pulling about 1,300 a week. Now, again, this is average. I mean, different jobs pull in different amounts of money. But that just shows you the more you learn, the more you know, the more marketable you are, right? But also the more valuable you are, and they'll pay you for that. This over here shows unemployment rate. Unemployment means I don't have a job. I can't find a job, right? This shows you, obviously, as you go down the list, education. If you don't have that much education, unfortunately, it's harder to find jobs, right? It's harder to keep jobs. Okay. So, again, man, pay attention, y'all. Learn, learn, learn. Even me, right? I'm old and I have my degree, still working to get more degrees. But here's the thing, keep learning. I'm learning every day. That's building my brain. That's making me more successful. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to do our resume. So go ahead and turn to page 90. Look at page 90. So obviously, an official resume, I mean, it's going to have a lot of information, just like this picture shows you. If I go in for a job and they say, all right, it's between Miss Anderson, Miss Golightly, and Coach Global, right? We all applied. We all turn our resumes. They look at our resumes and they might be like, oh, Miss Golightly's looks good. Oh, Miss Anderson's looks good. Coach Global doesn't really have that much. I might then get pushed aside. Now it's really between Golightly and Anderson. Okay, let's bring them both in for an interview, right? And then they might say, oh, we decide this person. So again, what you put on your resume, man, it speaks a lot, right? Now, your guys' resume is going to be pretty simple, obviously. Okay, so if you guys look up here, here's your sections. So what you guys are going to write for position sought, okay, the name of the job you're interested in. So think about the first, your number one choice. Now write this in a complete sentence, right? I would say, I am interested in becoming a nurse. I am interested in the healthcare position. I am interested in working for the Bank of Oklahoma. I am interested in being mayor of City Hall. So whatever your number one is, I am interested in, okay? Again, I'm going to go through this and then you'll have time at the end. Number two, abilities and talents. This is where you guys put everything good that you guys can do, right? Now, here's the thing. When you guys do your resumes, obviously don't put false information. Because if I look at your resume, like, whoa, this is some good stuff, and I bring you in and you're like, oh, yeah, that's not true. Now you're a liar and I'm not going to hire you, right? But think about things that are good, positive, right? So maybe you're like, man, I'm good at sports. I know teamwork. I'm good at math. I'm good building things. STEM, science, technology. I'm good at that, right? Talents. Maybe choir. Those of you guys who are talented when it comes to maybe band, right? So think about all your abilities and talents and just go ahead and write those down. Now the next one is achievements and awards. Now again, this is, we're thinking of you guys as fifth grade. Now, understand this resume, you guys have resumes when you guys get older. I have a resume. My seniors have resumes, right? My high schoolers. We all have resumes. And as you get older, some of the, like I don't have my fifth grade stuff on there. I have my college stuff. So as you get older, you start building it and it looks way more official. But this is just giving you guys an idea. So on this section, achievements and awards, things you've accomplished. Maybe you're like, I got my AR reading up a whole level, right? It could be an award you won. Maybe you won a good citizenship award. Maybe you got a line leader award from your teacher, right? So think about things that you have accomplished or awards that you're like, hey, this is again one-upping. This is what I got, right? Now, work experience, obviously you guys don't have that much, you don't have work experience for the most part, but think about things that you've done that demonstrate your skills. So if you tell me one of your skills is teamwork, maybe you could tell me, I play the Chickasha flag football team. I play AAU basketball. I'm in dance class. Okay. The last one, tell me your grade. Obviously, tell me, are you in GT? Are you in any extra clubs? Now, if you're sitting there like, no, I don't do any of that. Now, of course, write it down, but then be thinking like, what can I do in the next year after that in high school to build my resume? Because again, I have a lot of applications for one job. Why would they pick you? Be thinking about that. What do you have to offer? Which you guys all have things to offer, but what does it show on a paper that you've been involved in, that you've been achieving? Okay. So I'm going to give you guys time to finish that resume. And after this lesson, you make sure you have your job application. Make sure you turn that into one of our teachers. And again, when we tell your jobs in the next week or two, you get what you get, right? Okay. And then from there on, you're going to be working with your business, getting ready for when you actually go to BizTown. Okay. What I want you guys to do, make sure your application's done and turned in, finish the resume. If you're done with the resume, go back to page 89 and make that chart on the bottom, make it a bar graph. Okay. So if you know how to do in math bar graphs, you're going to go, a doctoral degree is 1885. Go on there and estimate how high 1885 is and shade that off. Okay. So if you have extra time, go ahead and look at those numbers, because that's a good visual representation of why education is important. Okay. If you have any questions, ask me next time.